And with that, we like to welcome everybody to this Friday edition of my stream. It is 7:42 p.m. right here in Jamaica on this clear and beautiful Port Antonio night, April 10, 2026. How are you guys? How are everybody here? If you're there, great. If you're not there, I wanted to say welcome to the weekend, everyone. And I said it's going to be the most chaotic weekend we have seen in league. Although last week with the whole Easter Sunday and all kinds of stuff, that is pretty much more chaotic. But this is kind of like more of like we already have our big feast of league, and now it is time for us to get ready for what's in store for next week. I will do that in my reviews after the stream is finished. Recapping the LCK and LPL that we have today. And then, of course, we get ready for a mammoth beast of a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with the LCK, the LPL, the LEC, the LCS, CB LOL, and LCP. So those are kind of stuff. And if you're on YouTube right now, you just go subscribe to my channel. We are close to 100 subs. We're at 87 subs at the time of this stream recording. If we can get at least like 3 subs. If we get 3 subs by the end of the night, I said that's going to be a wonderful, wonderful way to do it. Okay, so I can just go straight into the action, of course. But I will not. I decided to see if we can gather some news that I can just ruffle in and then read about it and then talk about it, of course. I mean, woof. So there's a massive thing, of course, on the right side. And first off, let's just start the first real and big news of the day. Let's just see if I can set it up. Let's just set it up, ladies and gentlemen. Set it up. There you go. We're going to do the first piece of news. Welcome to kind of like a pseudo flock of news Friday, but with a stream in purpose. The first off is like Riot confirms players cannot stack identical role quests in pro play. And it said that switching roles is prohibited, and they said that players that have never been allowed to share the same role quest in the pro matches. Now, Riot told the RFTGG that the policy was introduced globally at the start of the 2026 season. It is not new to Spring, nor is a reaction to any specific regional league. All our Tier 1 leagues, as well as tournament organizations, were formed at the beginning of the season, as this approach aligns with the intended game design where the experience mirrors a solo queue. Now, the Riot Games definitely clears up the ambiguity surrounding the role quest, as no mention of it appears in the rulebooks. The publisher's position is clear. The policy applies across all leagues and tournament organizations were briefed before the 2026 season. But if you can see this matchup was involved in I believe is one of the Benelux League. So the statement follows a match between Fried Esports and Once Upon a Team in the road of Legends in the Benelux League. In that match, 3 FEC players, the mid lane, ADC, and support, play with the support quest simultaneously in both games of the best of 3. And I look at this and that looks like a no-no to me. That looks like an absolute no-no to me. That feels like a little bit of a no-no. So there's that. A little bit of update, by the way. Let's just mute this one. There you go. Get this out of here. Okay. Let's look at the Riot Games Korea news. That, by the way, David Shawnock already did. But so let's look at all of this. It said from the statement from Riot Games Korea, which is, by the way, absorbing all of LCK, so it's now Riot Games Korea. They bring in the financial statements for the 2 years of Korea alone. Now, I am not a financial expert in most of the cases. That will be like onto them. And Shinock have his own 2 cents, of course. I will have mine. And listen, here's the kicker, guys. Just because I kind of like saying, oh, Akeem is just, the mouthpiece of David Shinock. No, I'm not. He's going to have his opinion. I'm going to have my opinion. We're going to have separate opinions on the similar topics. Of course, I'm gonna have my opinion, my piece, and he's gonna have his piece. His knowledge is more understandable because, of course, he is a financial person working for a major company. In this case, Disney. I'm not even close. And of course, I have a little bit of ties from my father's workplace, so I kind of know a little bit of business. But that doesn't mean that none of us have anything to do with financial or anything like that. But I'm gonna read this and just get my 2 cents, of course. So 1 year after the tumultuous 2024, Riot Games Korea reports a sharp recovery in its 2025 results. 331 million revenue plus 10.8%, and an operating income of $69 million, more than double of that in 2024, and a $65.4 million dividend to be paid out. Now, sales of skins and virtual content across League of Legends, Valorant, and Wild Rift reached $309 million, or 8.9% growth. This remained the publisher's primary revenue driver. Service revenues, which now include post-merger LCK esports operations, rebound to $18.6 million at the bottom out at $11.7 million. Now, the report confirms what I had documented in a previous article. And by the way, the guy writing it is Mehdi. And yeah, it said that the LCK is a legal entity and no longer exists. On Halloween of 2025, Riot Games Korea observed its wholly owned subsidiary, the entity that had operated the Korean League independently since its inception. The official reason? Improving managerial efficiency. In practice, the merger writes off $34 million in accumulated losses. The LCK's revenue had fallen from $18.8 million to $7.7 million in 3 years. If we look at all of this, you can see a lot of growth in the revenue. You see the operating costs being decreased just a little bit, which is like a crying sign for what happened in the last 3 years. You see operating go up. Financial income and other income has gone down like 36%. And the corporate tax is just up by 13%. So these are pretty much, see a lot of greens and a few reds, which may mean something or may not mean something. Now, the immediate consequence, RGK's 2025 accounts are standalone financial statements, no longer consolidate. The LCK as a traceable economic unit has vanished from the financial record. Its costs, revenues, and profitability are now buried within Riot Games Korean's books. That sucks. Over the 2022-2024 period, public filings made it possible to identify between 4.7 million and 5.7 million per year in direct distribution to the 10 franchise teams. In 2025, that line item disappears, folded into the broader commissions category with no further breakdown available. As you can see, if you look at this, this is from 2022, which is $260.5 million alone. Most of it comes from game revenue. I think most of them come from game revenue most of the times. Look at the increase, 238.7, 278 million, 283.9 million, and 309 million from last year. With the services being like decreased for the last 3 years, but kind of increased a little bit to 18.6 million euros. And then you get the rest, of course, and services being like, and then merchandising is slowly increased, of course. Now for royalties and dividends. In 2025, Riot Games Korea transferred $234 million to its American parent company, over 70% of its revenue. In practice, the money flows out through 2 channels. The first runs through the year in the form of invoices. RGK pays $90 million to Los Angeles for the right to operate League of Legends and Valorant in Korea, and an additional $68 million for IT services provided by headquarters. The second channel is dividends. Once taxes are paid, $42 million in profits were remitted in March 2025, with a further $65 million already scheduled for March 2026, or the last month. In the end, for every dollar earned in South Korea, 70 cents flow back to Riot Games. 70 cents! So $1 Korean for 70 cents. Jesus! If you look, of course, in the dividends, 2022 is even. 2023 is like no dividends, a lot of cumulative, and then of course 2024, 2025, cumulative just got increased, and dividends are just like being golfed, of course. Now, as we documented in our analysis of the European accounts of Riot Games Limited, which reported 434 million euros in net profit and a record 603 million euro dividend for fiscal year 2024, the cash upstream mechanism to Riot Games Inc. operates across 2 major fronts, Europe and Korea, the 2 financial lungs of the League of Legends publisher. The accounts confirm it year after year, and there you go. So that is what we have, of course, all the financial stuff. And I have to say this right now. Um, it's not a dire situation, but I think it's kind of like a situation of can feel like I don't have anything much to say other than yeah, financially they're okay, but I'm not sure if they're going to be that okay. In which I can say if you are a Riot Games employee, this may be a good thing or this may be a bad thing, depending on your view. And I think Shinnok pretty much said it best. And I'm going to go back to my screen here. I think Shinnok says it best. I do not think we're using these kind of financial statements to tell us everything. It doesn't be, it's not the be and all end all in all this kind of stuff. Just because those numbers are kind of like, oh, one is going up and one is going down, doesn't mean it means gigantic thing. It doesn't mean anything in these things. And I think you have to take it with a grain of salt. You got to take all of these things with a grain of salt and a little bit of financial analysis. But to say that for every LCK dollar being earned, 70 cents is going to be on the right. It's not the best financial situation, to be honest. And I think right now, many people are wishing for a Valorant kind of financial stability, of course, with the VCTs and all the kind of stuff coming up in 2026. I think they might have. But even then, I'm just not sure if we can have anything, of course. It's a slippery slope sometimes, it's really difficult to understand and judge and all the kind of stuff. So, yeah, I believe this is going to be one of those. It's a financial thing that may or may not mean anything. I could say it means something, but it's right. I don't know if it means all of that stuff. So those are small pieces of news. These are two pieces of news that comes out on a Friday. Nothing too much going crazy, of course. And now it is time for us to give you the cringe. It's time for some League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen. Some NACL, of course, and before we get to week 3 of the okay. Before we get to the week 3 of the NACL, it is time for for LPL commentator and now NACL caster Mazel to talk about what's going on in week 2. I am making sure I'm going to normalize this for the time being. And then after that, we're going to go back to our regular 1.5 speed time. So here's a recap. Oh, April 8th. That is that is 2 days ago. Thank you, Mazel. So that is the recap for the NACL week number 2, in case many people missed it. And I have to say right now, as he mentioned, we're gonna do Maryville versus NRG tomorrow. If and of course, Sunday we're probably gonna wrap up week 3, of course, and then we'll be back to like our normal schedule, of course, nothing too much. So that is the recap. And if we look at the standings, by the way, let's see if we can look at the standings. Yes, so we look at the standings right now. Going into week 3, ladies and gentlemen, it is CCG looking absolutely dominate. No games dropped. 3-0, looking absolutely look at the cream of the crop in the early NACL standings. And then NRG and Maryville being right there, of course. By the way, this is the big matchup, NRG versus Maryville. I think is my favorite matchup, of course. Conviction and Winthrop and Blue Otter are 1-1 each, along with Supernova and in Dorado, Sentinels, and Apex Mission going combined 0-7 and no wins yet. And yeah, I'm not sure if Apex will ever get a win at this point. So, with all of that being said, it is time for us to get to our matches. Our first match is the mighty Maryville University versus the Dogs of Dorado Gaming. And right now, I'm going to say this right now, that Maryville are looking like the favorites to win this matchup. I think they are really strong, of course, overall. The lineup for Dorado Gaming is Decoy, Lohaz, Adam, Hub, and Redemption. And Dorado right now are in the, dare I say, in the mid-tier 1-1. And, of course, coming off a massive win, of course, last week. And then, meanwhile, we are going to get to the Maryville University. No, we're going to get Decoy stats in the top lane, 522 and 11, minus 26.7 CDA, 10 minus 1,000 gold in difference in 20, 523.9 damage, and 26.7 KDA. He is not looking hot right now in the top lane, which I think you can say that top lane is a really volatile lane, of course. You either win the game or lose the game, of course. There's no there's kind of like a little bit in between. But Decoy has not looked brilliant in his early goings in the NACL. So we're going to find out if he can turn it around, of course. And they will have to face off against the mighty Maryville University. K, UG, Spirex, Scary Jerry, and Obstinatus. Those are the lineups for Maryville University. And we look at UG in the jungle. 7.1, 1.5 Barons per match, 2.4 Dragons, 521.3 damage, and 71.7 KP per average. Across those 3 games, he has been unbelievable right now. The former Team Liquid jungler looking to revitalize his career, revitalize his play, and making sure that every LCS player is going to take a notice on him. Every LCS scout and every LCS analyst will take a look at him and just say, maybe we can give UG a chance. Because in my honest opinion, last year, it was not even UG's fault that Team Liquid was bad. Team Liquid was bad completely from the beginning to the end of this split. Yes, it was the LTA final split. Yes, I said the dreaded word, of course. But I think UG was not his fault. I think this was a UG guy who came into the new team in a really bad environment, give it his best, play decently, but it was never being enough. And I think right now he's in a team that we know how good he is. You can say that Maryville is like the top team in all of collegiate and tier 2 League of Legends right now. So to be in an environment like this, to give himself another chance and play like this with the stats, he is looking absolutely incredible. And yeah, I think Maryville are looking like the strongest team we have seen in the tournament, but CCG is on top of the table. Who might care? Let's look at the face-to-face in the bot lane. You look at Scary Jerry, former bot lane, of course, of an LCS team, and Hob, the newest guy, and it shows. KDA, you see Scary Jerry with a 4 KDA compared to his 5th. Both of them are mid, KDAs in the table. The goal difference at 14. Scary Jerry just leaps and bounds above everybody else. 902.4 goal difference. And then, of course, you got Hob with a 579.8 goal difference, of course, at 14 minutes. CS dominated 22.2. Hob not so much, minus 11.0. And then damage per minute, 792.3, which is 4th. For Hub, 568.3, and for KPA percentage average, 68.5%, which is 2nd among all players. or among all ADCs, and 51.6, which is fifth. So I believe that Scary Jerry is absolutely statistically looking absolutely strong. And Cubby and Rafia are the casters for today's game, but it's gonna be me taking over the commentating race. So I'm sorry, guys, and you'll be muted. And they both have Maryville University. I mean, this is pretty much obvious. I think Maryville are looking like the strongest team. Dorado are fine, but I think Maryville has just too much firepower in them. I think way too much firepower. As we can go through the draft, ladies and gentlemen, we see some pretty face caps. So that's Scary Jerry and Hall, by the way, in the face caps, of course. And look at them. Look at how brilliant their houses is. I mean, you can see that. I think it was. I think it said that that's a pretty house they have there. Meanwhile, you look at Maryville, all decked up in their gaming houses, of course. Yeah, Redemption is looking like he's in his bedroom, of course. Jesus, he's looking like he's taking a really good nap. And yeah, so we're gonna go there, and you can see the Nocturne, Oriana, and the Seraphine being banned, while the Rise, Azir are coming in. I think if you're going to go first, I think there's gonna be I don't think Ash and Seraphine is in there. There's Adam facing off against Spirex, of course. Karma's being banned. So no Israel, Karma, no nothing. I think it'll be Quirky Nami. I think there's a Quirky Nami. Maybe I think those first pick the top, of course, with the Scion. I think Varus is going to be the first pick. I think maybe Varus top. We've seen a lot of Varus top, but not to a great extent. Varus is going to be in there. I think it'll be a Varus Alistar in most cases. Not what the Dorado will pick. What will Decoy will pick, and we're going to probably pick the Pantheon. I think Pantheon makes sense. Your global ultimates are pretty much important. You can bring the jungle, of course, and then, of course, the global ultimate is going to be absolutely huge. And then Nico, I think Nico makes sense. A lot of CCs going on right now. You are pretty much going to pair to Nico and pretty much play a lot of CCs. And this is going to be not bad comp so far. So what do they have in their sleeves for top lane? I think Yuji's going to pick the Abessa and probably going to pick the top lane, which means Varus is going to be pretty much permanently go down to the bot lane. If Yuji can actually ponder just a little bit, maybe that might go like, Ziggs, I guess. But Abessa will be the pick, of course. 1-4 in the NACL so far. 1-4 for Abessa. Jesus. I think there's like one win on Abessa. Wow. I'm surprised. I thought Abessa would be like middle of the pack, I guess, but never expected this. Rumble is going to be played, and I think that means that Rumble top, Abessa jungle, and maybe Varus in the bot. So that means it's gonna be Rumble top and Abessa in the jungle. Aurora will be picked next, so a lot of circles, a lot of engages, a lot of poke damage, a lot of damage, of course, between these two teams. Hub's camera is pretty much freezing right now. So what will be the ban, of course? They might want to target top lane if they have to. Oh, there goes the Alistar. So no Alistar Varus in this comp by Dorado. They banned the Alistar. And now what the question is, what the male will do? I think they might target like the Quirky or something. Maybe the Nami, of course, to stop the Quirky Nami kind of situation. You can. Yeah, okay, Israel is gone. Okay. So no Israel there. No Israel Lulu. I think Israel Lulu could be my other pick. And I think Dorado could, ban the Lulu if they have to. But that might leave something like, I don't know, a Leona open or something. So the question is, would Dorado take the risk? No, they're going to ban Nautilus. He's banning Nautilus, of course. So Maryville already take down 180 carries. Going to take what will be probably his next 80 carry ban. Ari's ban. So now Dorado is pretty much stuck here. Pretty much don't know what to do now. He's got to think. I think you might gonna need like a Jin here. I think sadly Jin is gonna be my only option. I don't see many people playing Aphelios, of course. Sivir, fine. All right, that's okay. I mean, I hope Sivir can scale, of course, in Infinity. So what does Maribel has to round out the competition? Maybe this was kind of like some kind of, a jungler they needed, although Ambessa could be a flex jungler, of course. Rumble is going to be pretty much the top lane, no problem. What mid lane do I want? I think TF is going to be good for all the globals, and CC, of course. I think Twisted Fate is going to be fine. Oh, the Nivea is okay. I will take a Nivea. Yeah, Nivea with the walls and suns and okay, and the slows. Okay, I think a Nivea is fine. Oh my goodness, I need to turn off the notifications. Listen, Khadija Bunny. Listen, Khadija Star, I love you, but okay, I need to. Okay, so Victor is gonna be played, and that means Jesus, now is Varus top. Yeah, that means Varus top right now. And now that we got Yone top. So that means Yone top. Does that mean Yone mid? Yeah, Yone mid against Victor. Oof. And then you got Rumble taking on the Aurora on the top. That'd be fun. And then Varus and Nivea. Wow. Lots of stuns, lots of engages, of course. A best of jungle against the Pantheon. And then, woo, my lord. Woo. This is spicy. This is a way to start up the whole stream. A really, really spicy comp between these two. I think you can say that Maribel is pretty much in favor, of course, because of the lot of engages, of course. The Nivea wall is going to be really huge, clearing out the waves. And I think that bot lane is going to be really tough. And I think top lane is going to be really tough as well, with the Rumble being taken care of. And we all know, I think Ambessa is going to neutralize the play. I think it's going to take Adam to like hold pretty well. Same thing with Loas, same thing with Decoy. It's going to be like all hands on deck for Dorado to actually win this game. And I decided to text in hello chat to basically no one. So the draft is already finished, by the way. And I think you can say that both guys are really happy, of course. And I'm going to analyze the draft, do all the work. And I believe we are about to begin. Just rewind for purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about to begin. We're going to go to 1.5 speed. We're on to 1.5 speed to make sure we're going to get this faster and having commentated, of course. But because I think because I'm going 1.5 speed, my frame rate is not as high. So the question is, should I? Yeah, and I think it shows. Let me just adjust the frame rate to 1.25. Nothing. Still nothing. Oh, a little flash early by Scary Jerry, of course. Scary Jerry forces the flash a little early. Now 1x speed. Yeah, nothing. Wait. Okay, yeah, nothing. Yeah, this is what happens when you have a computer with like no much of graphics and all that stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, you have to deal with this. It is what it is. And right now, Scary Jerry poking hub so much so that it can force a flash. Meanwhile, mid lane would having a battle between Spyrex and Adam. Spyrex will clear the wave, of course. And the game is pretty much even right now. Early days. Maryville is looking absolutely strong right now at 2-1. They have looked impressive in the last 2 weeks. Of course, Division One winners of both Valorant and League of Legends. So that's huge, of course. So that proves that Maryville are pretty much not just a slouch in the League of Legends scene, but also the Valorant scene as well. And I believe you could say probably the best university team in all of esports, which is saying something. I mean, I think the reason why I'm doing this channel right now is just, I wanted to have an esports in my country, in my college, of course. It's a little stupid, and I get it. And looking that stupid is Mr. Spirix forced to flash, but here comes Yuji slicing and dicing on the Abessa, gets the first blood. So Spirix was dead to rights, and Scary Jerry just pops the first blood, and then double kill onto the Barris before Redemption just killed Scary Jerry. But 2 kills onto Scary Jerry was huge. So let's look at the replay, of course. Betcha coming in, slashing, doing her work, and then grab the first blood, of course. Spirix was nearly dead to rights. And then, of course, in the bot lane, Scary Jerry got 1 kill, of course, and then trying to get the Nico, and he did the Nico, but unfortunately got popped and now died. So it's now 2-1-0 in the early stages of the game. And unfortunately, that little wall, that Nivea wall, is really annoying, of course. A little slashing, a little dicing, of course. And now a little flash here and a little burn, and K is down. Oh, the bunny is now crispy rapid. K flash with decoy and got a kill on top of it. And now top lane is looking horribly wrong. So let's look at the replay again. And you can say that both of them traded in their shots. And then it was the equalizer, the burn. Oh, geez, too much burn for decoy to handle. 4-1, 1.5k goal lead, of course. And a pause as Spirix are trying to poke at them. And we'll be back in the game just right now. And okay, it's burning decoy alive, of course. This one was going to be a really problem, of course, later on. And unfortunately, this Pantheon is going to be a real problem. Here comes a Yone slice. And unfortunately oh, wait a minute! Oh, my God, I see nearly escape. And now Yuji's trying to pick it up for 1-for-1. I thought Spirix escaped. Yuji just saved him, but unfortunately did not save his demise. He's down, and of course, and fortunately, 2 kills and Raptors. So nearly a rescue ad. I swear to God, if Spirix would have escaped, that would have been like absolutely tilted. If you're Dorado, look at this, Yone cut, and then of course the chaos, and Loaz just came. The spear just speared him right in the back. The question is, oh, wait a minute. Scary Jerry just take down Hub dry as a bone. How did that happen? And now, unfortunately, our observers are going crazy right now as Yuji is getting popped and popped low S. He's now 3-0-0 right now. Hex Tech trade coming in, and it's not looking good for Dorado. Just not looking good at all for Dorado Gaming. I think it all began with Scary Jerry just solo kill Hub pretty much clean as a whistle. And unfortunately, Lulu's not having a good time. Scary Jerry just killed Hub again. He's now 0-3-1, and it's not looking great. It's not looking great at all. Meanwhile, Spirix is just farming on the minions, of course. Yone forces the flash. which is actually the best thing, of course. Grubbs is taken by Yuji, of course. 10 minutes in, little state. Hextech is already taken. Chemtech is coming in at 320. And an equalizer is burning Decoy alive. He's got a force to recall at some point, but he decided not to, trying to stay for the waves. And I hate to say this, but Dorado's not looking great right now. Marvel is just absolutely constantly dominating right now. Just absolutely constantly dominating. And the R coming in. Nico with the ult. Pantheon comes in. And goodbye, Scary Jerry. Yes, he does. A massive shutdown onto Hub. Eggs being cracked. Now then, a little poke, of course. But here comes Yuji. He is reeling and dealing and slicing and dicing and unfortunately cannot find anything. And Dorado escapes. A massive shutdown onto Hub. He was bullying the league. And then, of course, Pantheon ult comes in, saved the day, and given Hub a massive, massive kill. It does decrease the score, of course, to 1.1k. Meanwhile, 1.3k is going to the jungle. And Yone ult, and Spirix is down again. And then, of course, K just dig down Koi, and then Redemption take down Obtinius. 2 for 1, of course, and another solo kill by K. Decoy is not finding any success right now against the Rumble. It's just like, what do you expect is going to happen? So 9 to 5, working hours. Half Marvel in the lead. Scary Jerry just farming on the minions, of course, trying to push the ball lane. Meanwhile, Simeons are coming in. And let's look at a replay. And then, massive shutdown, of course, by Hub. And then, of course, Spirix is just a little too much of himself. Get chunked down on the Vargas. And Loas with a massive kill. And then, oh my god, card recall, and why? And he got recalled, and unfortunately, down goes Hub again, and Redemption. And now this ball lane is gone. This ball lane is literally gone right now. And now they have to figure out the mid lane. Down goes Spirix. Massive kill onto Loas. He's pretty much the only carry in this game. 4-2-1 right now on the Dorado. But even then, that just doesn't feel a show because ball lane turn is going to be gone right now. Yuji, by the way, is on fire. 4-0. Like almost 4,000 damage and plus 600 gold. My goodness. Meanwhile, Chemtech Drake is being taken by Dorado. And that means it'll be Ocean Soul, of course. 15 minutes in, and I feel like Marvel is controlling the game, and Yuji just absolutely pounded Decoy to the ground. Oh, boy. So it's legendary on Yuji. And I don't know what to do. Yuji was pretty much everywhere on this map. And now, of course, Spirix is bringing the Chaos to the team. He's bringing Poke and Chaos. And unfortunately, I just don't know where to go. And I think Yoni's going to swipe it out of here. But is he going to be alive? No! Loas with a big kill, of course. I think that's a little too greedy on the part. Meanwhile, the Anivia bird and Scary Jerry just killed. And meanwhile, K is dead again. Eggs being scrambled. Now then, little poke. And that means Mr. Hub gets a kill. Man, Maryville, that's just a little too much. 3 for 1. 1 for 3 in favor of Dorado. So Yuji gets a kill, of course, on the top. And then I think Spirix is just too much full of himself. Cause him to die. Cause everybody to die. And Spirix just sniped down the core. And unfortunately, a shutdown onto Yuji by support, which is actually the good news. And then Loras just kill Spirix. So Dorado's fighting right now. I give him credit. Dorado is literally fighting right now. Which that is the good news, of course. And unfortunately for Adam, he's going to receive the bad news with the burn. As he got burned, of course. Yuji's going to clear out as we look at the replay. And Spirix with a massive kill. And then a massive shutdown onto Yuji by the support. And I believe there's another kill right now. Yes, it is. K just kill off by Loaz. Loaz is literally carrying this game right now for Dorado, keeping them in it, by the way, with a 7-3-3 performance. The Pantheon is literally carrying this game. There's no ifs and a buts. Wall being walled in. Meanwhile, oh, look at the damage. Jeez, Obsidians is gone. And now another one is gone. But meantime, here comes Yuji. Yuji is wheeling and dealing and bursting for blood. Spirix with a massive kill, of course. Then another double kill, of course. And Yuji stays alive. And it will get the mid-tier 2 tower if they please. I think they do. Oh, Chaos didn't kill him, and Decoy just popped him like a balloon. Just came here between worlds and just popped him like a balloon right now. So that was an extended fight, of course. But it ended up being in Maryville's favor, of course, with the Rift Herald. Not charging in a turn, my goodness. Actually, it does charge in a turn to get money. Ocean Drake is coming in right now. 20 minutes in. Dorado's restored their first turret in the tier 3 bot lane. Meanwhile, the tier 2-1 mid lane is pretty much close to dying. And that is going to be Drake for UG and Maryville University. I think you say it's going to come down to the junglers. This matchup is going to come down to the junglers. CRX is okay. Scary Jerry, not so much. It's going to come down to the junglers. And that goodbye, Spirix. He's not participating in the game. I think right now you can say that Spirix is not participating in the game because of the globals. Because of the globals, because of the charms, because of all these things. It's hard for you. Meanwhile, Dorado is taking the bot lane, and unfortunately, Yuji just slicing and dicing Loaz. I think Loaz is dead right now. Misses the Yone ult, of course. Burning and Chris is Mr. Kai, and straight into the hands of Yuji gets another kill. 8-1-3 on the Ambessa. He's doing all the work. Remember, Ambessa only have one win in the NSCL so far, going into week 3. One win. And he's making it work, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the flash moves, of course. And then snap back up, and then straight into Ambessa's arms. And not the good kind. If you want to know how really sad it is, the support is the only one with a goal difference. Which is actually kind of feel like, it makes you feel a little bad, of course. But at the same time, what a performance by Maryville, especially Yuji. And right now, Adam is going to scoodle away before he's going to get the bad news. And, oh my goodness, Redemption is nearly dead. It's going to go back to the fountain and recall, and that is the first tower being taken. Bot lane is being taken down by DK, and unfortunately, Mage is saying, nope, not on my watch, but here comes some of his friends. Golden stopwatch, and down goes the turret, and down goes K, and now a lot of Chaos stores, of course. Big ball balls are missing. Now the wheeling and dealing the damage. Victor put an incredible damage. The Chaos Storm is absolutely brilliant. Lohaz with a mighty kill over Spirix. This Pantheon is still looking cooking and still alive, but unfortunately the G is popped. Here comes Mr. No Ultimate, and Scary Jerry is being scary right now. Yuji is on a rampage. He is bringing the hurt to Mr. Dorado. Wrath is met with Wrath, and that's a triple kill to Yuji. That is an ace for Mr. Maryville. Not much of an ace, but that means the game is pretty much swinging in favor. Adam will take out the mid turret, but that will be all. A long sequence in fights, of course, and it's pretty much all in favor of. Oh, so as we go to the live by live model, K is dead again. K just put up another kill, and now that's Baron. That's now 100% Baron right now. And there you go. That's a triple kill, of course. And now Baron is being taken by Maryville, of course. 6.3k goal lead. Yuji, 11-1-4. Woo! I tell you what, man, that is an amazing Jungle Abessa performance if I see one. Of course, Dorado's not going to give up. They're not going to quit this game. Right now, with Ocean Soul Baron, they're staring on the barrel. I don't know if they can do it. So with the Baron up minions, they were trying to take down the tier 2 bot turret. Meanwhile, I think Yone is trying to do a side quest and trying to take down the tier 2 bot top lane by himself. And the answer is, I am not sure it's going to work. Like, I am really not sure it's going to work. But, and Yuji's making sure that it happened. K with another kill, of course. Take down Loas. That is 2 kills right now on this team. I wonder which one delivered the kill to Sivir. Did Sivir just walked up and just, get popped, of course? Oh, the equalizer. Oh, UG! My God! With the help of Scary Jerry, down goes the Abessa, and of course, Luke just be Loas. But my God, Yuji. That was Scary Jerry's kill, but that was all Yuji at that point. Went in, conquer worlds, and then nothing doing. And with the Baron on minions for about a minute, they might push to end the game right now. Blinking Hellbar, Scary Jerry is on another level. Killing spree, of course. 8-3-9. Not bad. But you have to say the performance goes to Yuji. And Yuji has been wonderful. Wonderful in this game. Pantheon also trying to do anything, but unfortunately it's just nothing too much. Double kill into the rubble. And then an ace by Yuji. 13-1-9. He was impressive on the Abessa. And deserves the first game MVP. So, an amazing performance by Yuji, of course, on the Abessa. I mean, an Abessa that is 1-4 going into this. 25% win rate in the first 2 weeks, and then showing up and absolutely slam down Dorado Gaming. It was a little sketchy, of course, for Maryville, but fortunately, they managed to go through. And we're going to go back to me, of course, on the camera. And there you go. I have to say, yeah, an impressive performance by Maryville University and typically by UG. So the question is for Dorado, can they win game 2, or will it be another stump, of course, by the mighty Maryville University? I will take a little bit of break. Let's just call it about. Let's give it a 5-minute break, of course, and then I'll come back. Of course, let's say 10 minutes. I'll be back for 10 minutes, of course, get myself refreshing, and of course, and then we'll come back for game 2. So just give myself 10 minutes, all right? Okay. So 15 minutes. Let's call it 15 minutes.
Ice in the pocket. We're saving for lunch.
Hello, welcome back. I'm just trying to get my short going in. So ladies and gentlemen, you're literally catching me editing the not editing. Enjoy yourselves. Peace. So that is just me, about to make a video, of course. And now we can export this thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the first time you get to see me post a video live. This is the first time you get to witness me posting a video live. So there you go. It's about to upload a video, and of course, it will be on the YouTube Shorts in about a couple of minutes, of course. So meanwhile, UG put up an incredible performance in Game 1 for Maryville's first win of the series against Dorado Gaming. I think Dorado Gaming did not have a great performance, and it's time for them to bounce back for game number 2, and they need a game 2 performance to be decent, of course. But I think based on the predictions of the casters and all that stuff, it's gonna be a little bit too much. So I'm gonna wait until this whole thing is finished in process, and then of course upload the video, and then we'll get back to game 2. So let me just pretty much let me just see. And we can also look at the stats, of course, if we have to. Yeah. So, okay. That's stats. And now it is time for me to okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. There you go. Make sure to get everything right. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll get back to the NACL, guys. Just give me a minute. Let's see. Okay, and I think this is now going to be uploaded onto YouTube, and then of course, now it's going to be on TikTok right away. This is. Hey guys, do you want to see a cool play from one of the best top players in the world? Well, yeah, that's just me talking. That's just me talking, by the way. That's me, of course. That is me. Hey, hello guys. It's me on TikTok. Kids making people to know. And now I can wait. Hold up. Just give me a minute. Yes, I know there's no people. Yes, I know there's not a lot of people there, but I'm trying my best to entertain myself. So if I had no people to entertain, I just got to entertain myself. Be a one-man show, of course. So just hold on. Post. And yes. And I believe that is it. Okay. So I have 35 followers on TikTok, by the way. So thank you to all the followers on 35 TikTok. And my YouTube is on my so my YouTube is uploaded, my TikTok is uploaded, and there we go. So that is the end of that. Anyways, now you just witness me doing my witness me doing my stuff. So that is all of that. So anyways, we're gonna find out if Dorado Gaming can actually bounce back, and we're gonna go back to my piece of the business. Yes, we're gonna go back, of course. Hold up. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. No, hold up. We'll get back. Okay. Calm yourself down. Okay. Like a screen share. Enter. Share. And there you go. Right. We're going to be back. We're bound back to the LCS or the NACL as per a regularly scheduled program. So Dorado with a massive win, of course. That card is doing a lot of damage. 31.6k damage. Scary Jerry did a lot of work at 27.1k. Ambassador did 21.9k, but dude was everywhere on the map. Yuji was everywhere on this game. He was amazing in the kills. Got a triple kill that goes in the ball lane. And if you look at the goal difference on the graph, it was not even close. It was I can see a little Dorado lead in the middle, but it's like this game was pretty much over around like 5 to 7 minutes. So Maryville was a huge win, and now it's time for us to get to game 2. So into game 2 we go, and we see the Corki Nami. We got the Azir, we got the Jarvan, we got the Sion, of course, and now they're facing off against the classic Vi Ari combo, of course, the Charm, and then the Zjade, of course, with the Caitlyn Bard and the Gnar in it. So it's gonna be like full on engage on your Gnar and Vi. You know your engage, and I think Ari gonna be engaged, of course, and then of course Bard is trying to stop all the ultis, of course. Meanwhile, this is kind of like big beefy Sion, of course, and then Azir with like the front to back. This is like simply front to back comp, with the Azir trying to push, the Azir, the Empire wall, the Azir trying to push all the soldiers, of course, making sure they can keep away from the engage, of course, from the Vi and the Ari, of course, and maybe the Gnar, of course, with stopping the Narmat. And then, of course, Caitlyn trying to stop, of course. So I think this is pretty much a Merrifield favorite, of course, if they can keep their distance, of course. So I think it's going to come down to the bot lane, of course. And right now, we're on to game 2 of this series. And Merrifield is up to 1-0, and they're looking absolutely fine. What will UG provide to us in this game? As we can see right now, Spirits and Adam are pretty much fighting for, and for anybody who don't know why I did not do it, I'm, sitting around here is just too much, and I could be a little bit tired sometimes when it comes to like streaming. I don't know how these people do it, man. Streaming these things for like hours on end is really hard. And again, I did a 3-hour stream a long time ago, so what it is. But to do that for like minutes of time, so I decided to take a little break, of course, walk around, refresh myself, get something to eat, get some snacks, refresh, get something to eat, and trying to energize myself, which I did. So I'm good. I'm back. Hopefully for the rest of the stream. It is close to 10 p.m. Eastern time, and Mr. Decoy is not looking great, of course, but Kay will just pop the potions and just take care of himself. And Mr. Yuji is now coming back to the bot lane right now, and he's going to take the grub. And I think Redemption is trying to sneak around and try and do something. Now the grump is pretty much like, and now Adam, Oh, Adam is not looking great, and now Low Heads is trying to be in trouble. Meanwhile, oh, well, Spirit just take down Adam like it's nothing with the help of Low Heads. So I was thinking Low Heads would try to take down. I think Low Heads trying to take down. I think Yuji trying to take down San in the jungle, but then of course just waits and waits and waits until Spirit just poked him in on damage, and then Low Heads just came in. And Spirit with the very first blood in this Arya Azir matchup, which is not looking great right now. So 1-0 in favor of Maribel with 3 minutes in. And now the bot lane, and now Redemption and Low Heads are going to come into Spirex, and I think it's time for him to flash. He did. And now a little poke, of course. And Low Heads was suffering enough damage, but the VOD is coming in and get a flash on the Azir. That's a huge win. And of course, Adam, unfortunately, once again being dead, and a little flash of lightning just came in. Not good. And that means Yuji will get the Soul Crab. Scary Jerry right now is trying to poke in, trying to focus on the bot lane. He's pushing in their favor, of course, with Maribel. And by the way, you can see the records: 2-0 versus 0-2. One of the 0-2, one of the teams with no wins so far, along with Sentinels and Apex Mission Impossible. I think it should be 1-2-1 for Maribel. But I think they got the score lines kind of wrong. I think they got it right. But I'm not an analyst, of course. I'm just a guy talking League with all the cringeness of a bad commentary, so you can take that as you will. K is doing damage to the core. He will level up to level 6, and that means Mega Dog's going to come into play. It's going to come up right now. And K is literally taking care of himself in the top lane. Meanwhile, Adam is no longer in the world. Shuffle, Empire Divide, and unfortunately, Adam is not dead, but here comes Low Hats with the punch. Missed the punch on Ostenius, and I think the Nami is pretty much dead. Bubble in, and he is not alive, but Spirix does. Redemption with a kill on the Spirix. So a big kill, but not to the one they expected. I think you should have given it to Ari, of course. But a kill is a kill, nonetheless, and Scary Jerry is pretty much meet his demise. And I think they're not showing the replay. What the hell is going on? Gnar in the wall, and I think the sign is dead right now. But unfortunately, it's not just you being dead, it's Decoy being dead. Yuji comes up and pick up a kill. K just being too strong right now, and it shows. A little more tankiness than him, and thanks to Yuji gets a kill. So right now, 2-1 in Baron Maryville. Redemption just poking, and Obstinius is not longer in the world. Big bubble, of course, but unfortunately, Redemption might kill him. And unfortunately, he is alive. Scare Jerry now poking on the damage. Scare Jerry just poking on the damage right now, and Obstinius will have to recall and take in the lane, which he does. Man, close one for Obstinius to take the kill, of course. Lois will take down the crab, of course. And now Redemption, and now Yuji trying to do something, of course. Oh, God! He got sent to the bounce castle before he went to the magical journey. And now, big headshot, of course, by Hub, taking down half his health. Couple of shots, couple of headshots. And now, of course, the bubble is being floated. Hub is in real trouble, along with Redemption. Hub is probably going to take the blue buff and trying to go back to the bot lane, of course. This bot lane is looking to absolutely die right now. But then Loas is coming in and saying, I will protect you from the bot lane, and then take down a couple of damage. Now, unfortunately, Yuji will have to walk away, of course, and nothing happens. So I was thinking to myself the bot lane should be ganked, of course, but Loas will have other ideas and see the thing and trying to stop the threat. So now Yuji will have to force to get the Raptors, which he does. And Yuji right now, of course, is pretty much moving along. He did to take the wolves, but unfortunately, Loas will take the Void Grubs. So the Void Grabs are being taken, of course, and now a little bit of poke by Spirex. Missed the Emperor's Divide. Salon with the fancy feet, of course. Adam with the fancy feet, of course. And Loaz will take 2 of the Void Grubs, of course. I think 2 out of 3 is not bad. And meanwhile, Yuji will take the Raptors. And right now, this game is pretty much like evening out, of course. Although you can say that Maryville has a 1.4K goal lead. Most of it comes from the jungle and the bot lane. Scary Jerry just poking out the hub, of course. And another poke. Okay, hub is really hurting right now. Corky can really do the damage, especially in the lower levels. He doesn't have a items level, but he's got the steel caps, which is going to protect them. And now the True train, of course. K with a big hit, and nothing much. So that means Nara will be safe. Meanwhile, Obstinius gone to the magical journey. Can't catch him. Redemption just can't be caught. Meanwhile, TP is going to den, and now the bubble being caught, of course, by Redemption. Nothing doing. And no Drake is being taken. 12 minutes in, but Yuji would like to say, I will take that. Thank you very much. Unless something crazy happens, I think Yuji will take the first dragon, and then Spirix is going to come in and help him out. That will be first dragon to Maryville University, and it's Infernal's Drake, so into the Cloud Drake. So that means we might get Chemtech, Hestech, Mountain, or Ocean, whichever comes first. And wow, Adam is not looking great right now. Getting poked, of course. Meanwhile, K is pretty much fighting with the Nar, of course. He went to Mini, of course. Loaz with a punch. And now they're going to be punching back by Scary Jerry. And now here comes Yuji right now, trying to do something. 3 of the members are coming to Maryville's aid. But Yuji will just taking the Krugs. And meanwhile, Redemption is going to come in and trying to help themselves. This top lane fight is going to be huge. Redemption with a blade block. Loaz will come in. Here comes a huge tidal wave. Temper Fate, of course, onto them. And then Loaz trying to escape. Dragon, flying in the air. Caitlyn with a massive shutdown. But here comes Scary Jerry. And here comes Spirex. 1 kill gone through. Scary Jerry trying to escape. Magical Journey into the top lane. But nothing too much to doing. But this is a magic phase. 2 Redemption, and Loaz is not looking great. But here comes Mr. Adam to make sure that the situation is cooled down to only 1 kill. If you're Dorado, you'll take that. Here comes the wave. Temper Fate, of course. And then you got the drag, of course. And then Loaz trying to escape, but the massive shutdown onto the Caitlyn by Hub, which is huge, of course. So we'll give Hub a big item, of course. And we'll try to make sure, of course, to keep them in the game. Meanwhile, Yuji on the Jarvan so far, not too much to write home about. 2,364 damage and 462 KDG gold damage per game. But he was brilliant in game 1. We will see what he can do in game 2. Meanwhile, the bubble and the drag just kill off Redemption where he stands. Bubble, spear, kill, goodbye. Nothing you can do about it. Lots of CC'd. And unfortunately, this tower is going to be burned, of course, with a 1 dungeon. And then, of course, you see the bubble. Yeah, and you see the lots of CC. So much CC in this team. And now, of course, Yuji will take the Rift Herald, of course. Uncontested. And with a little help of Scary Jerry, will be contested. And unfortunately, Obstinius is now officially dead. And now Yuji will try and escape with the Rift Herald, which he does. So the game is pretty much even, but the goal lead is pretty much slightly in favor of Maryville. And unfortunately, for Mr. Scary Jerry, he's going to get caught, of course, and Redemption will get a kill. I don't think it's not the right thing to do to kill. Meanwhile, Flag and Drag, Spirit just caught Adam trying to recall with low health, and he's gone. So the game is back to being even again. My oh my, this is something else. And now Yuji trying to do something. And now Yuji trying to pop in the Rift Arrow. Now that he's really trapped. Decoy is really, really trapped. And I think he might do something. He might do something. Meganar onto the wall. And now he might get to do something. Can he turn it around? But now Yuji trying to escape with the Rift Arrow. He's going to drive the Rift Arrow out of here and saying, see ya. Don't want to be ya. And unfortunately leave K to his devices. Okay, he is pretty much going to be down. He's down, he's getting dragged, he's bound, Temper Fate on the tower, there's nothing he can do, but he's still fighting, and now K's still alive. Can he get a kill? Yes, he does! Holy cow! It's KJ to kill Hub! 2v1 in the top lane, how did K done it? Oh my goodness gracious. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. How did K manage to get a kill on a 2v1 with the temper fade and everything gone through? Like, I cannot believe that. I just cannot believe that. Look at that replay. And he got redemption. And now Scary J with a kill. And now redemption getting killed right now. And everything is falling apart for Dorado. Dorado's literally falling apart right now. Baron is up for 2 minutes. And now Decoy is lost in this world. He's just a mini null with nothing to see. And he's going to Emperor's Divide. And goodbye, Mr. Decoy. He's going to get killed by Spirix. It is a disaster for Dorado. It looked once what looked like an even game early on, it looked like a disaster. Now Decoy is going to do something. He's trying to take off Mr. Yuji. Obsidian is down. And another kill, of course, onto Scary Jerry. Scary Jerry with another kill, but a big shutdown by Adam. They're keeping them right in the game, but for how long? It's a 3.2k goal lead. This Scion is getting tanky right now. Mr. K is getting tanky. How are you going to kill the Scion right now? I'm not sure anybody can kill the Scion. That's a real big question. As you can see, Redemption is pretty much dead. Of course, if you see the replay. And then a big tidal wave, and then this is how Scary Jerry just killed up Hub, right between the towers, with the help of Obsidians. And then, of course, Decoy with a massive kill, of course, in Spirix. And then you see the 2 kills, of course, Loas. And then 1 kill by Scary Jerry. And now Scary Jerry is being scary. And now Obsidians is killed again. And now a little bounce, of course, a little drag. Cataclysm, of course. Temper Fade trying to stop them. He will escape. Loas will escape. Can you believe it? Wonderful support and play by Redemption. Making Loas walk away without out in the skate. But now the tier 2 bot lane is pretty much getting lost. They're going to chunk out the tier 2 bot lane. Just look at the replay again. A big Cataclysm, of course. And then, of course, Loas is close to right. But look at the incredible Temper Fade to escape the Vi. But the tier 2 tower is pretty much gone. There it is at 20 minutes. And a little bubble, of course. And Loas is now looking great with the damage. And now Loas is coming in. And unfortunately, that's a wrong idea. Wrong idea to get the Jarvan. Scary Jerry with a kill. And then Hub just killed off Astanias. But that's just all the good news we can see. Corky with a lot of poke, of course. But the massive shutdown right in the tower. And Hub got another kill. It's 4-2-0. So they will escape, but nothing much to say. Unless it might take the top 2 towers. So let's see what happens. Yuji and Scary Jerry deliver the kills, of course. And Nostinians with a massive kill to the Hub. Just deliver a kill. Tower just kill him, of course. So Hub is literally keeping himself in the game. I think they're just replaying a replay, of course. So yeah, you can see that the Temper Fade, of course, the binding, of course, is huge. And now we're in live, of course, or not live, but we are live, of course, in the recording. 20 minutes and 22 seconds. And unfortunately, UK is going right in and doing anything. Loas going way deep, and I mean way deep. Died in his own demise. Loas just get killed. Spirit just killed off Hub. And I don't think they have any damage. I do not think this team has any damage. Goodbye, Mr. Well, goodbye, Mr. Dorado player, and goodbye, Mr. K. The K is gone, and now we Baron. That is going to be 100% Baron. 4 killed to none. Adam is already dead as well, and you can say that this is Baron. It is going to be Baron. So K just came here and just gone like a wrecking ball, of course. 3-0-6 on this Scion. I mean, you got to say the Scion was brilliant, and now the Hextech Soul is going to take Marvel to the precipice of a close victory. So right now, Dorado, you're staring at the barrel of feed right now. And while game 1 was all the UG, so I have to say, game 2 was, oh, geez. No, Loas. No, Loas. And now it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Decoy getting killed by Spirix. Oh, no. This is not looking good. Loas just cut card. Look at this play, by the way. And by the way, I'm gonna try to mind fails to try to clip this play. Let me just see if we can find a way to clip this play, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to rewind just a little bit and try to clip this play. Let's see. Hold up. Wait. so let me just do my tools here. Just give me one more time. I want to clip this play. I want to clip this play, and I want to analyze it as a replay. So good. This needs to be analyzed. It needs to be talked about. So let's just go to the replay. Let's go to replay one more time. Just look at how brilliant it is. He's low health. Redemption and low edge is coming in. Put in all the damage. He is still low health, and I managed to smack it down, using the minions, and then got killed, and Redemption get killed. Unbelievable Scion moment. And now the inhibitor is gone. And right now, Dorado is pretty much trapped right now. It is 25 minutes in. The damage is just too much, and I don't know who anybody can kill Kai right now. This Scion is an absolute meat tank. Just nothing you can do about it. Yeah, congratulations, you're about to build the last with Whisper, but I think it'll be too late, of course. Low Hatch is just going in and then, coming out, and then the big wave, of course, and then the huge damage, of course. There's nothing to do. 1 goes down, 2 goes down, K is on a rampage, Spirex is doing all the work, and that is game. And Redemption, there is no redemption, no light, no hope. There's a redemption right there, but it's for the demise. And that is game, and VOD University will go 2-0 onto Dorado and will climb up the Science and look at themselves as one of the best NACL teams we have ever seen. What a performance. And a big shout out to Mr. K, who was absolutely a beast in the top lane. 4-0-6, no deaths, and amazing outplay, of course, to win the game. Wow. Oh, wow. What a performance by VOD, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is time for me to do my favorite thing, which is going to give you the gold.gg stats and my 3 stars, my team of the week, and then we get to the second series. And by the way, VOD just already played NRG, which I am trying my best. I think you're probably going to see the results, but I'm doing the second. By the way, I'm doing the third week of games. So I'm in the third. So by the way, today is the third week of games, and I think you're already seeing like already day 3, of course. But I'm doing day 1. So what a performance by K. What a performance by K in game 2. Incredible stuff. So let's look at the stats right now. Let's see who's my first star of the week. I'm going with Yuji. Game 1 was amazing. He deserves some praise for his incredible jungle play. 2 deaths all game. Amazing stuff. And 16, 2, and 25. Sheesh. 16, 2, and 25. That's amazing. 20.5 KDA. Amazing stuff. And then, of course, give some love to K, of course. He was amazing, especially on the Scion. That is 10, 4, 11. That's a KDA of 5.3. And then finally, I think just say Scary Jerry deserves some love. (17, 5, 17), which is a KD of 6.8. And unfortunately, my team of the series, I think I have to pick one of the Dorado gamers. I think it's Adam, maybe Hub, but I think Hub did try, of course. He got some kills on Caitlyn, so I don't think he was bad. I mean, Decoy, sure. But when you got double Top Cat, I think it's Adam. I think it's Adam. Yeah, deserving the Temu. Who's going to wear the Temu crowd for this series. And by the way, I did not put additional stats, of course, because I did not want to waste any time doing additional stats. Not saying this to kill you guys, but I don't want to do additional stats, especially when I'm going to do my analysis. So that is going to be game series 1 in favor of VOD, an incredible performance by VOD University. And now it is time for their rivals, NRG, to try to make sure that they will meet on even footing, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, we're going to go down there. And yes, so Anyways, I have to say, incredible performance by Maryville. I think UG and Scary Jerry and Key put up an amazing performance, of course. And right now, you can say that Maryville is one of the top teams. We're going to see NRG, of course, in a couple of minutes. Although you already seen NRG, of course, days ago. But if you don't, I will be talking on a matchup like it's like I haven't seen the matchup before. So NRG will take on let's see, they'll take on Winthrop University, who's having a good time. We have a big win, of course, to make it 1-1. But NRG is looking really strong right now. NRG is looking absolutely really strong. So we are going to take not going to do a 15-minute break, but I think you can say 5 minutes. Let's just do a 5-minute break, get myself refreshed, and then come back for the NRG versus Winthrop University series. So be back in 5 minutes and. So welcome back. Yes, welcome back. NRG versus Winthrop University. That's the series we're gonna do. Sorry to lost in a train of thought. And just a reminder, everybody, that tomorrow we're gonna have a lot of League of Legends action. And I will, by the way, I will be posting a video later tonight, of course, talking about the HLL series and all kinds of stuff. And then of course talking about what's happening tomorrow. But we got a big action of League of Legends, of course. We got the LCS, the LEC, the LCK, the LCP, and all kinds of stuff. And I will cover them, review them, and all kinds of stuff in this one big video, of course. But that is for tomorrow, and lots of stuff in sports and everything with the Masters and Premier League and all that jazz. So, without further ado, it is time for us to get back on track with the NRG versus Winthrop series. And as you can see, Maryville put up a dominant 2-game series against Dorado, and it's now up to NRG's turn to try to see if they can match Maryville results and trying to make next week or next 2 days matchup feel holy. Although you can say that, by the way, the matchup is already played out. So by the time you're listening to this, I think the match is already played around. But I'm going to pretend that I already did not see this matchup. So NRG have Samudo, Kishno, Primana, and Sushi, and Spica, of course. Samudo was amazing, of course, in that game 3, in that game 2. And then onwards to the Winthrop University lineup with Dianador, Wilson, Zach, Mobility, and Kim down. So those are the lineups for both teams. I believe they have some stats on both teams. Yes, Sushi was phenomenal, of course, in those 3 games. I think 2 games. 10.1, 802K goal difference at 14. CS difference at 8.2, 989 damage and 73.6 KDA. Whew! Sushi was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And oh, by the way, I did not even do my 3-star. I think I'm going to do my 3 stars of the week 2 and the NLCL pretty much live before I'm going to leave, of course. So this is going to be a live look at the best players from week 2. So if you can just stick around, of course, for that. If we don't, I'm just going to do it offline and all the kind of jazz. And I think the commentator is going to predict NRG to win. I think NRG is going to win this one. I agree. I think Winthrop is going to be too much. And this might be the only time you get to see this, but we're going to see all of their webcams and all kind of stuff as we go into the pick and ban phase, of course. You see the Karma and the Pantheon being limited. And yeah, this is a long day, of course. A long day. I know how you feel, man. It's a tiring day. Jarvan being banned, of course. You got Varus and Oriana being banned, of course. I believe that the next one is going to be a little bit Seraphine. I think Seraphine is going to be banned next. And if it doesn't, Nocturne being banned. So that means if they pick Seraphine, that means Seraphine Ash. No, Ryze going to be picked. So Ryze going to be picked first. And I believe that will be a lot of global poke, of course. Maybe they can combine with the Ash. Seraphine will be good. But I think Winthrop might take them out of their hands. Israel is fine, but I think you got to pair Israel with something. No Karma in this, so no pushing bot lanes. Maybe you might gonna go with might go to maybe a Nivea. Okay, Nivea, fine. I think it could be a Nivea bot for me, or mid lane, of course. Could be a flex and maybe top lane. No. Come on, kids, no. Come on, kids, no. Don't do it. Don't do it, kids, no. Just pick the Ash. There you go. Ash Seraphine. There you go. Ash Seraphine in the bot lane, and I think that's already a scary bot lane, and that means it's going to be a Bard Israel, which means there's a Nivea is going to be pretty much either mid or top. I think it's going to be mostly mid lane, of course. It's Bard is going to be picked, so that means it's going to be an Israel Bard bot lane. There you go. And now, of course, it's going to be the rest of the bands are going to be figuring out which, of course, the other lanes will go. And I believe I think they might get a ban, of course. What are you going to do in, like, the top lane? I think Wukong going to be banned first. And, you know what? I think, listen, this is a VOD. I'm not going to waste any time. We're not going to waste any time. Some of you have, like, things to do on a Friday night, so I'm not going to waste your time, of course. Sion going to be banned, of course, and then you got Vi and Ari. Malphite is going to be in the jungle. And then Jace top lane. Today, I've already saw a really good Jace top play, of course. It is feast or famine. It is gonna either work or it's gonna die on a vine. So, and then of course they're gonna pair up against Kasante and Xinjiao. So I think this is gonna be like a lot of global, lots of gauges and CC, Malphite with the CC, Rise with the CC, Ash with the CC with the arrow, and Control and CC with the Seraphine Encore, and then Jace with a lot of damage. I mean, there's a lot of damage on the Rise, the Ash, and the Jace, of course, if it's given. And then meanwhile, you got a lot of like if you're wind up, there's a lot of like disengage, of course. Xinjiao with the wind become lightning, and then you got the Israel poke and the Bard poke, of course, with the Temper Fade, and then you got the Nivea walls trying to stop them from the damage, and the Kasante can go all in and trying to pick out the Ash, of course, in the bot lane. So I think it'll be a really interesting cup. I think you could say that, you know, Winthrop is an interesting cup. We'll have to find out, of course. I think bot lane is going to be really, really important as we're about to begin the second series of the night between Winthrop and NRG. We're going to find out, of course, can NRG keep this up? Or, will Winthrop pull up the upset? Maryville going to 3-0, sitting right beside CCG as the only teams that have won so far. NRG will play against Maryland, of course, in the next 2 days. Or of course, at the time we finish recording, it's already played, but I'm going to make sure it's not being spoiled here and say that NRG versus Maryville is going to play in 2 days, and we hope that these two teams will go undefeated, and we're going to have a real clash in our hands between two really good Tier 2 teams. And that's what we're going to see. So right now, both poking, of course, in the bot lane, of course. Both of them are pretty much in the bot lane. Let me just pause a little quick. Just give me a second. Trying to make this a stream. All right, there you go. So we're gonna be on. Okay. So here we go. NRG is trying to do something. And they're trying to poke, of course. Samudo, of course, trying to do anything, trying to work his way out. And now the pool is a poke. Kisno is trying to do the damage, of course. And now he's going to take the jungle. Meanwhile, and now he's going to take the red buff. Meanwhile, Wilson will take the blue buff. And now he's going to transition into the crab. So that means crab priority is going to go into Winthrop. So I think the focus is pretty much going to be on the top lane. We saw how Zamudo is doing all the work last time. I think it'll be really interesting to see how he does it against the Jace. Well, I think we're going to find out right now because Dianto is not looking good in this world. And now Wilson is trying to hear it for help, but unfortunately, he will not do anything much. And now look at the poke on this Jace. It's amazing that the poke on the Jace and then trying to keep them in arm's length, of course, trying to make sure that Dianto is not doing well. The wave state is not in his favor right now. And unfortunately for Mr. Blerman, he's not in his favor and no flash needed. He's going to just walk on out of here. By the way, he has Ghost and Flash, of course. So does Sunshi with the Ash. Now, the first dragon being taking place, of course, that will be the Cloud Soul. Ball lane is in a really even state. Came down with a stun. And now a little blast, of course. And now the wave state is looking good, but you say the Ash and Seraphine will take care of it. And mobility with a miss. And and that forces adversary to push forward and take some damage, of course, mobility, forcing him to take portions. That'll be huge. And still, the way state is pretty much not dire, and Femini is not looking great, of course. As another crab taken care of by Wilson. And it will level up, and it will take the dragon as well. So Wyndham has a little quiet start, of course. And Magical Journey out of here, of course. By Kim Down. I think it was a lot of action, of course, in the bot lane as per usual. And now Kim Down will take the dragon. Meanwhile, Kisno will take a constellation red buff, of course. As the VOD is crashing down, and now it's going to be changing down to the lowest resolution it can find. And now it's time for Kisno to get the grubs. Or the Krugs, by the way. And once again, it's being down. Just pause it just a little bit and trying to make sure I can get it right. Sure, there you go. Oh boy. Soto's in trouble. He got stunned, of course, but nothing too much. Only a flash being taken. Which is actually a good thing. Forces Jace to flash. Now Cassante will have the advantage, of course, in the lane. He's level 7 and he might go all in and trying to pretty much push the Muda's buttons and trying to force him. Now he does. Level up, of course. Big accelerated shot blast, forcing him to go back. Fimini, of course, is poking right now. Here's Nivea and Zach. So Zach and Fimini is fighting over the mid lane. Meanwhile, the bot lane is being poking as usual. It is 8 minutes in and nothing too much happening except for Mini and Zach is fighting a clash, of course. And now, Zach being trapped on the wall, big flash in, and he escapes. Oh, he nearly escapes, of course. That would have been huge, but it forced the flash and the goes out of Fimi, just huge. Now True Star Barrage is separated into two. Now Kazanda can actually clear the wave right now. In the top lane. It's really tough in the top lane. And he's going to get 2 plates, and that's it. Shot blast into the turret. Now level up. And now I think it's too close to the wall. He's way too close to the wall right now, Zamudo. He'll be fine, of course. Too much to harmful. And Spico was going to come in, trying to make a sport. And now Wilson, I think, Zamudo's going to be pushed up. But he'll be fine. He's going to crawl down there. And meanwhile, Kisno will get the dragon. And now everybody's going to come in right now. We might get our first fight in the game. And a little bit of poke right now. And that means 2 grubs to 1 in favor of Windrop. So you'll take that as you may. So far, not much to happening. As Mr. Kisno is trying to take the grab, of course. And oh boy, Kisno, he's not looking great right now. He's making Wilson looking working. And now Kisno is not looking great. He has to force the stun. Temper. The bind in by came down, just forcing a flash, of course. And that means no Mount Fight, no flash. No flash ulti, of course, in his case. So you're going to take the Raptors as a consolation prize, and that will be it. And there you go. Low state of the 12 minutes. No kills in 12 minutes. My goodness. We might go this long without any kills. Meanwhile, Winthrop will take the Drake. It'll be 2 Drakes to none. And I believe that might be Chemtech Drake. I'm thinking this is going to be a Chemtech Drake at this point. Unless Kisno might do something radical, which he doesn't. I called it. I literally called it Chemtech Drake. And I think Kisno is in really trouble right now. Kisno is really dead. I mean, really, really dead. It's what with the massive football. Big temper face. A double kill onto mobility. 2-0 onto the Winthrop ADC. And he is looking really good right now. We saw how he was really good on the Israel. And now it shows. 2 massive kills with the help of the temper fate. And now the towers are getting much in favor of Winthrop in the mid lane. But not much in the bot lane. Sushi is trying to get more gold, of course, in the bot lane. And now he's going to switch into the mid lane. Kid's not trying to fish for something, trying to, like, steal the dragon, but unfortunately there's nothing there. And unfortunately he got caught. He literally got caught. Like, look at all the CC, and of course he's got caught, of course. And down he goes, and now with the temper fate, caught Famini in his tracks, and now a double kill for Israel, and he's looking really good. And now there's another chance, another fight. Unfortunately, another kill onto mobility. 3-0-0 on Israel. He's doing absolutely fine. Meanwhile, Blast Cone, Speaker's no longer with his world, and Speaker will escape. 3-0-0. Almost 4k damage and almost 500 gold difference at 14 minutes. My goodness, amazing stuff. Kizno's going to do a lot of work, of course. And Spirits, of course. So, and Energy will take this mobility guy is going to be a real threat so far. And now the Ash Arrow, the little bit of stun by the Seraphine is doing work. Femini is not long for his world. Wilson is forcing the flash, of course. But now Sushi just take down Kim down. And now the Shelly's going to come in, take down the mid arrow, and it's going to give Sushi a lot of gold. There it is. It's trying to close in the gold gap. Meanwhile, Kisno is trying to take down Deantor. He did. Forces the ultimate, and now he's going to go all out, trying to kill the Jace, but I'm not sure it's going to work. Zamuda with a kill over Deantor. Little help by Mr. Kisno, and now, of course, the game is back to a little bit even. But this time slightly into NRG's lead. 1.1 onto Zamuda, but 1k onto mobility, and pretty much represent all the goal lead. Meanwhile, Kisno is fishing for kills. He's trying to do anything. Blast code, of course, to the crab. And unfortunately for Wilson, he is pretty much dead. But a massive temper fate, but not onto the guy you wanted. He's going to escape. He's going to escape. My goodness. How did he escape from that? I will never tell. The blast going to stop the recall, of course. So let's look at a replay. Like Kisno with a massive ult, of course. And then, of course, you got to give. You got to give for, like, Theodore a lot of credit, uses popping the portion, using all out, and then nothing to it. And then Kim down, getting stunned, getting encore. As I said, the CC just too much for them. And he dies, Kim down. And Theodore with a massive kill on to Zamudo. Solo Bolo. Massive. Game is still in favor. Game is close right now. But here comes Famini, and unfortunately he's not out of the world. He'll be out. And that means Chemtech Soul is favor of Winthrop unless they might steal this. Kisno might comes in and steal it, and he does! He steals it! Temper Fate miss. And NRG just walks away with a stolen dragon and lives to tell the tale. That is a massive fumble for Winthrop. That is a massive fumble to Winthrop. Meanwhile, Theodore just sees Zamudo being low health and then killed him. Just like that. So Kisno with a massive steal. Stop the stacking. And now it's gonna give this game time and time to scale. 20 minutes in, Zach is now being absolutely crushed. Not an egg yet, and still alive. Came down, of course, trying to do something, but unfortunately, he is going to get found out, and not too much doing. Zach is gonna do something, pulled in the wall. Finally, is trying to do something in the wall, and it's gonna get blast cone, doing the fancy feet, and now, oh, massive ash arrow, but cleanse, of course. But unfortunately, now here it comes. Sochi doing all the work. Sochi doing all the work. Big encore onto two people. Now then, Sochi doing all the work. Kizno with a massive kill according to Wilson. Now then, 1-for-1. Mobility is down on the high damage, and now he's still untouchable. Mobility is still untouchable. 4 kills right now for the Israel. That massive 2 kills are going to give them a chance to trying to take that top tier 2-1 tower. It's a slight goal lead right now. And Drake is coming up at 2 minutes and 30. And we see the battle of the 80 carries. Meanwhile, Zamuda's trying to do something, of course. They take down Diador's health. A little bit blasting shotgun, a little accelerating gate. And Mobility's forced to get away, of course, on the arcane shift. And Kizno is now he's now behind the wall, of course, and now Red Turret is being destroyed by Zamudo, by the way. I think the frame rate is going to be really bad for me to force the end of the stream right now. Because right now the frame rate is not looking great. So I believe this is going to be like finish this game and then pretty much call it a night. And because of the frame rate not looking well, I think it's going to be an early night. So yeah, the frame rate right now is not looking great. It's not looking great right now. Oh boy. And now big ulti, of course. Well, Zach is not dead, of course, and now he's going to be scrambled, of course. And now here it comes, moving along, of course. Chemtech Drake is pretty much alive right now, and now probably a big ash arrow. But look at the health on Windrop. It's not looking great right now. It's not looking great. Temper Fade onto 2 people, and now a massive ult. They're getting chunk right now if you're Windrop. Massively chunk. Another chunk right there. This dragon is now restless right now. He's trying to find victims. And NRG just poke away at Windrop like it's nothing. Unless it's a massive steal again, which unfortunately Sushi does. And now the big encore. And now 1, 2, 3 little Windrops are going down the drain. Double kill onto Mr. Zamudo. That is now 3 dead. 2 are trying to escape. And I don't know if Diaz is going along in this world. Came down is trying to escape, of course. Both of them are trying to escape. And that is going to be buried with their name on it. Sundown is pretty much close to be down. Diandor is trying to do anything right now. He did have to. Now, I don't think the Temper Fate is coming in to trying to get the Baron. Unless Diandor can do something crazy. But unfortunately, oh, geez, so close, of course. And NRG will take Baron. And we can see the replay, of course. It is pretty much like, yeah, it was pretty much an Ashe Seraphine combination. And a couple of Rise ultis, and I don't think it's nothing to do. The CC from the CC chain from this entire team is amazing sometimes. It's amazing, forcing them to not even play the game. And now they have a massive lead, of course. Well, not a massive. 2.7k goal lead, of course. And now they're trying to do something against Zamudo, but Zamudo got 1v1! Oh, Zamudo. Well, no, not Zamudo. It was Mr. Wilson. Zamudo gets a 1v1. I can't believe it. Yeah, it was Zamudo getting 1v1. My God. Let me just look at it again. He's getting dragged on, and then the damage. Like 1v1 in the top lane, that's huge. And will push them into both lanes. The mid tier 2 turn is gone. And now the mid tier 3 is going to be gone as well. And now Flash on the Temper Fade. The Candace is probably going to take care of it. And there you go. So both the inhibitors are down. They're going to rotate and you're trying to get to the bot tier, of course. But Zach Wilson, with those brilliant wave clear and the Anivia, is not going to allow them to do that. Zamudo with a massive lead, of course, 1.2k. 4-2-1. Meanwhile, Sushi's not doing bad, 2-1-3. And I think my MVP could be on Zamudo right now with the damage and the massive lead, of course, and that 1v1 play was huge. He's putting up a lot of damage. And now Zach is trapped, but who trapped who? Big ulti, of course, by his own core, and nothing doing. True Shot Barrage, taking a little damage by Kisno, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to help. Decelerate Shockgate, doing nothing. Again, look at the poke. Look at the poke, of course. I don't think there's nothing you can do right now. And right now, Dieto trying to do anything, but he's getting rooted. He's getting rooted, of course. Kim down with the magical journey, of course. Nivea trying to wall them in. But of course, with the Baron buff and being up, they're trying to take that tier 2 top tower. And now Kisno getting stunned. And now Will Sundown getting stunned. 1-for-1 killed on the top, and that will be the end of it. So with Zach getting the kill, and then of course Sushi get another kill, of course. So it's 1-for-1 on the top. Sushi just kill on Kisno, and then Sushi just kill. Zach kills on Kisno, and then Sushi kills on Wilson, and that is the end of that. So no top tier 2 tower for them. Meanwhile, another Chemtech Drake is going to come in, of course. And right now, of course, Fireman is going to do something here. We're 29 minutes in. I think it's longer than like the previous game so far. Unfortunately, right now they're gonna have to do something. Break another, of course, by Kisno, and a big arrow going in. And now I think it's gonna be Zach gonna be a fried egg, of course. And now Mobility get killed Kisno, but look at Sushi. I don't think nobody can touch Sushi right now. It's gonna be walled off, and that'll be the end of that business. But Chemtech sold to NRG. It is now 3.6k gold lead, and the game is pretty much close, to be honest. You could say that Mobility is carrying this game, of course. Don't underestimate Sushi, and do not underestimate Zamudo, of course. As the Baron will come in, and now this will be a real test, of course. 31 minutes in. I feel like right now we're down to one team fight, but oh my God, Came Down. Came Down is not looking great. He's going to take a magical journey, of course, and just skedaddle out of here. Zach is trying to trap in Zamudo, but unfortunately cannot do it. And right now, big Ash Arrow onto Dientor. And now Wilson is trying to do work on the Zamudo. Zamudo's being trapped, and I think he's dead. Mobility with another kill. 6-1-1. And I believe Baron could be on the table right now if they wanted to take it. They will take the crab, and they will do damage on Baron. Now then, what can they do right now? There'll be no flag, of course. Wilson trying to do something. They're trying to poke, trying to do anything. Big Tapper ulti onto Speaker. I think the Baron is gone, but a massive kill! And a massive kill by Firmini! Big Charm ultimate! Now then, a big kill, scramble the eggs. And unfortunately, that will be the end of the news for Winthrop. Oh my goodness, they juggled the Baron, and it failed so miserably. Firmini with a massive kill on his goal. And that is game. Just like that, it is over. I mean, they're trying to quick game Baron, but unfortunately, it was just too much poke. And Firmini just say, game. As we look at the replay, and we probably gonna look at this one more time as the game ends. So let's look at the replay. I think the game ends right there. The game ends just like that. Femimi with an absolute clutch play, 3-1-5 on this rise. I think it's my MVP of this game. Absolute clutch by Femini in that Baron fight. Absolute clutch. And I think that's a huge win for NRG, of course. I mean, the game was back and forth and close one. Unfortunately, it was nothing. And let's just look at the play again. Let's look at the last play again. Let's look at the final fight again. I want you to look. I want to look at the last fight again. Just look at the poke, of course, and the damage. And then, of course, got killed. And then they're looking at the Baron, of course. And I want to see what happens. I wanted to, let's just pause, see if we can clip this for the Twitch people out there. And everybody want to say, oh, you're going to end the stream already. No, people. Keep going to go in. I'm going to keep going until I'm going to stop. And now then, of course, the Baron's being taken. And then I think you could say that Kiso doing a lot of damage. The Ramwall, but look at Femimi doing all the damage. Big poke out the Diador, and then Sushi with a big kill, and then the Resurrected Eggs, and then a huge kill, and Mobility with a kill, and then he dances, he's moving, but unfortunately he can't do much. And what a job by Femini. What a job by Femini in the clutch to end the game and put NRG 1-0 up. I'm just going to mention this right now. See if I can make sure I can clip this pretty much well. And he dances, he's moving, but unfortunately he can't do much. And then Sushi would. I'm gonna stop. And now then, of course, Kiso doing a lot of damage. The Ramwall, but look, doing all the damage. Poke out the Dia. And Sushi with a big kill. And the Resurrected Eggs, and then a huge kill. And Mobility with a kill, and then moving, dances, he can't do much. What a job by Fimi. What a job by clutch. Yes, I know the frame rate is not as strong, but you can just see the incredible play, of course. And that gives NRG the victory. And I think we can just go straight into game 2. So we can just go straight into game 2. And let's look at the numbers. Woof. I mean, just look at the damage, of course, by all these teams. 35.1K on the Jace, 27.3K on the Rise, and 32.5 on the Ash. I mean, Mobility did all the work, and so did Nivea. But unfortunately, it does not feel like enough. The poke was just too much. The Mimi was too much. And I think NRG was too much. And now it is time for us to quickly go into game number 2. So as you can see, we got the Mel and of course the Varus and the Alistar with the Jarvan and the Sion, of course. You can say that this is going to be another one of those poke compositions. I think Femini and Sushi will have to bring the poke, of course. Jarvan going to bring in the Engage. The same thing with Zamudo and the Alistar, of course. So it's going to be a little bit of beefiness at the front with the Alistar and the Sion, of course, and the Jarvan, of course. And they'll provide like the engages. And of course, Sushi with also the CC engage, of course. So it's going to be a really tough one. And the face off against an Annie, Yanara, and Nico with a Nocturne and the Niv and the Aurora. I think this is more like, Flash Tibbers have to be imported. And then, of course, the pop bustle. And of course, Yunara has to scale, of course. Mobility will once again will be the main carry and have to scale, which he already did, but unfortunately cannot do anything. Nato will have to provide some big ults trying to take down the 80 carry, of course. And Aurora will have to do all the work, trying to make sure this top lane doesn't feel anything. But I think this guy's gonna be too tanky. I think you can see a lot of magic damage on this team. And like once you build magic boots, I think it'll be pretty much over, of course. So yeah, we're gonna find out if NRG can have the stuff to win this right now. And as we go, and I think I'm gonna be, yeah, I was going to say we welcome everybody to game 2 of this series between NRG and Winthrop University. We're gonna try to find out if Winthrop can actually get back, or will NRG will assert their claim as one of the best teams in the NACL so far with another win. And we see a lot of poke going on. And right now, I feel like that I need to go to the bathroom. You know how it is these days. So, anyways, I will go to the bathroom and I will give myself, let's call it 10 minutes. Okay, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back for pretty much hopefully not the last game of the series, but based on the VOD we are seeing, I think it might be. So it is 11:06 p.m. on the East Coast, and I'm trying to make sure that, keeping the night fuel, of course. I'm not sure we might get a raid tonight, but if we do, that'll be awesome for me. So, anyways, I think it's time for us to go to NRG versus Winthrop in the second game, of course. And of course, you already seen the draft, you already seen the comps, and now the game begins with a little poking, of course, by Kin Down and Mobility and Speaker. And Speaker's getting chunk, of course, not too much, of course, to talk about. Even game, of course, so far. I know I'm not talking that much, but the game is pretty much even as Kisno trying to get the Krugs and Wilson trying to get the red buff. Although you can say that Kisno has to say about it. Wilson is saying my red buff, and he did. So I walk away, pretty much disappointed in trying to get the Wolves. Mudo and DM Door is trying to clash, of course. And Kisno is looking for something here in the mid lane. He does, and unfortunately, that will be the end of Mr. Zach. First blood into Femini. He was brilliant in the first game, and now with this Mel, who is going to be turbo broken, I think it might send him to oblivion. So first blood with a little help of Wilson. Yep, I think a little help of Kisno, by the way, is going to give him a big advantage, of course. Now it's Mudo, of course, with the top lane, of course, trying to do all the work. And Theodore will push the waves in front of him, and there's the Mudo. That's going to create an uncomfortable position, but I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. So Femini with the very first kill, of course, in this game. And Pika is not looking great, but Wilson will take the Raptors, and I think it's pretty much Winthrop is in trouble, but Nico will take down the Biden, and that will be the end of that. So no funny business. Captain Drake is going to come up. Nice little sauce, so I decided to speak a little slower, of course. I will create some excitement, but not too much, of course. And Femimi get another kill on the Zach. Oh, no. Femimi is just cooking Zach right now. Meanwhile, Zamudo is doing work on the tank. He's a massive tank against Diator. Can Diator will do something against this Zamudo, but unfortunately cannot. Winthrop will have to take the dragon, but Zach with 2 deaths. Both on Mel. That's not good at all. So let's look at the replay, of course. And you can see the reflect. Tibbers, but it do nothing. Just nothing to do. And now Flash gone, Teleport's gone, and this mid lane is pretty much gankable. Oh, Wilson feels it. The wave is getting cleared. And I think there's nothing to do about it, but it's not looking good for them. Meanwhile, Wilson is trying to take the Krugs, and Kisno and Speaker are trying to think some bloody business. They're going to come in, and Wilson will get the bad news. Big jump, big ult, of course. Gets sent in, of course, and saying, this is my red buff. But now, here comes Dientor. He's trying to fight back. Kisno getting chunk, of course, and that means Wilson saying, my red buff. But maybe Kisno might fight back. Maybe Kisno might fight back, and he's like, nope, he's not going to take it. Nope. And Wilson will take the red buff for pretty much basically free. So we're 7 minutes and 30 minutes in. 2 kills, both on Mel. Wilson is trying to get on the blue buff. I mean, these junglers are fighting for literally everything. So that means Kisnell will ultimately claim the blue buff and pretty much getting in the grump. The question is for Zach, how do you recover from this? It's 0-2 against Mel. That is not good right now. Consider how turbo broken his Mel is, as we saw from like a couple of days ago. Once Mel turns on, it's tough to see their recover. And unfortunately getting chopped, of course. Wilson is going to get caught, and unfortunately, Dietor is not looking great. Meanwhile, with the whole help of Mr. Wilson, is nearly going to get killed, but Dietor is close to death. Oh, Wilson nearly get the gang for the perfect kill, but unfortunately, Zamuda just too tanky. Just absolutely too tanky right now. Oh, just a slither of HP. And almost turned back to worse for Winthrop. So nothing too much doing, but nearly disaster, of course. And yes, I know this might be saying, Akeem, you're slow, and I get it, but I'm just trying to process sometimes. Processing sometimes. And now Kisnell is take the Grump. And now the Grump, of course, will be angry. And now force a TP onto Zach. And Zach is now really angry, stunned. And unfortunately, Kim down is going to make Speaker looking absolutely incredible. Tibbers gonna put in, and I think Speaker's gonna be killed. No, he wasn't. And I think the wave is gonna be poking. And now, unfortunately, Speaker's gonna be food. Not much. Tibbers passive is gonna be it's really tough, of course, to get in. And Will's gonna come in. Kisnell's gonna do something. Kisnell's just poke with Kim. Now we'll do the same thing. Femini just clearing the wave, of course. Tibbers is down. And now Ocean Drake is going to come in. Thank God we don't have the Chemtech Soul to deal with, so I think we might get Hextech Soul. I think I'm going to get the Hextech Soul. Maybe Ocean Soul is... Well, no, not Ocean Soul. Maybe Infernal will be not bad, but I think Hextech. No Cloud Drake. And unfortunately, Wilson's probably going to see the clouds right now. He's going to get an ulti. Kim down with a massive ult, of course, and 1 kill by Sushi, and then 1-for-1, of course, by Wilson, but another kill onto the Mel, and then Mel goes down, of course, and then Mel, this champion is absolutely disgusting. I am sorry, Riot, but Riot, you should ban this champion immediately. And I'm not saying this to disrespect Femimi and his incredible skill, 4-2, but Jesus Christ, man. How did Femini get through that? I will never tell. This is just disgusting. Absolute disgustingness. Look at this. Like, you see the bold kills, but looking for Femini just untouched. Put up all the damage. And this is just disgusting. This is just absolutely appalling. Absolute appallment. And I'm not disrespecting Femini. Great skills, of course. 4-2 and a massive goal lead in the mid lane. And Diado not to force a flash. So right now, they got a big problem in the mid lane. And it's not looking great. And I think it's going to get worse and worse as the time goes on. Kizzo, we could take the Void Grubs, all 3 of them. He will take all 3 of them in the Grubs, and he did. And I think right now, what can you do to shut down the Mel? You got the Nocturnal, and of course you got the Annie, and you got the Between Worlds, and that's pretty much good. But the mobility and the reflection it's going to be really tough. And unfortunately, Kim down is not looking great, but Sushi getting killed, of course. And what can happen now? Speaker is going to escape, of course. So I believe it's just 1-for-1, but now it's going to get killed. Kids know to take down Wilson, and mobility is not locked with the Wilson. Fimi is unstoppable. Well, that can't be good. Another kill onto Mel. How funny. So 5-0-2 onto the Mel. 2.2k goal lead. It is just dire right now if you're Winthrop. Absolute dire if your mid lane is looking at that. Look at that. 8,123 damage. 2,000 GD on the 40 minutes. 41 CS. It just absolutely reeks of disgustingness. This is absolutely disgusting. Right? They should. If I were him, I should pee in a cup. Anytime somebody play well on Mel, they should pee in a cup. That's just my 2 cents. My goodness. But I'm not doing this as a disrespect for Femini. I'm just saying this is just the champion, not the player controlling the champion. Sometimes hit or miss, but again, sometimes when it hits, it just doesn't feel great to me. Anyways, here comes Zamudo trying to do work in Diento, and Diento get the most damage, of course, but I don't think it's gonna mean anything. Bot here Toro is gonna go down. Mimi is going to walk in, and meanwhile, Skull Crab goes to Winthrop, and besides, Winthrop has Cloud Soul Point coming in. They're going to try and control it, of course. Now, Sushi and Mobility is fighting in the mid lane. And now, Sundown and Zach, I think you can say that this is a perfect plan. The ult is coming in from Wilson. Came down and got the Pop Blossom, but they're not going to try anything, of course. Wasn't going to do anything, of course, trying to top him. And now they're zoning, of course. And now, of course, Wilson is trying to do anything, of course. He's going to get killed. And unfortunately, my mom's going to call me, so I'm going to just mute and just, hello? Yes?
What kind of water is there?
A little bit of water, mommy.
All right, I want some water, then get some tea.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay. You're welcome. So Diento get a kill on Sushi. Femini is looking dominant right now. Rift Herald just slammed in. And now Cataclysm going on to Mobility. Big shutdown onto the Rise, but Zamudo is getting a little tanky right now. And I don't think nobody can solve the Mel. Jesus, Femini is just godlike right now. Femini is just absolutely godlike at 17 minutes in. And now another damage in. And Jesus, this is just brutal. They're going to walk away with a lot of health. But right now, 7-0-3 with 18 minutes in. And I think I have to, tend to get the kettle. So my mom is not feeling well. So I have to tend to the kettle. So I'll be right back, of course. You can just watch the discussion as a mellow at your time, please. Okay. So the kettle is already boiled right now, and as we can look at this replay, yeah, this male champion is absolutely disgusting. Zamudo is just too much of a tank right now. And as we're about to get to the Drake fight right now, they are trying to get Chemtech's soul. And I just don't know how to get stop this Mel right now. She's absolutely dangerous right now. 7-0-3. They're trying to leech on to the dragon. But look at the control. Look at the wave. I don't know if anyone can step forward. You're facing a Scion, and then you're facing against a Mel. What can you do? Big pop blossom. Massive kill to Sushi. But who can kill Rel? Who's going to kill Mel? Speaker with a massive kill, of course. A big bug, of course. And then a massive shutdown. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Big something, of course. And then the red team takes the Drake. Okay, massive turnaround. Massive turnaround from Winthrop. They took down the Mel. And 2 big kills onto Zach. Okay, Winthrop are back in control. And they get Cloud Soul point at well. So a massive, massive pop blossom onto Kim down and forces, of course, Zach to take down the Mel. Look at the replay again. And then massive kill. Huge kill onto the Mel with a Zach. And unfortunately, they took the crowd Joel. And Wilson got killed because of it. But it's all worth it, of course. Taking down Mr. Zamudo. And now the game is pretty much swinging. Not much in the Winthrop favor, but it stems the bleeding just much. They took down the dangerous Mel, which is actually the good news. So, top tower is being taken right now. So the question is, with the Cloud Soul point coming in, now Energy has to desperately get it. They might get to use that to their Baron advantage. They might get to use it to take on Baron and maybe scale this game up in their favor. Remember, Yanara maybe 0-3 and 6, but can't scale up if they manage to. It's going to be like another item, of course, for Yanara, and then it's going to be a really crank. An IE will be perfect for her. Zamudo's just wandering around the jungle, of course. Usage of the Cloud Soul movement of the Rift. And I think the usage of the Rift is forcing the door to walk away, to hop away, of course. Kisno is going to take down the blue buff. And the Canyons are going to take down the Torrent just a little bit, but not too much. And again, the TP is going to come in for Mr. Zamudo. It's going to come in, bop, of course, forcing the ult. And, of course, the Kim down is now down. Speaker's not looking great. Zach is coming down, but Zamudo is just way too tanky. Look at the health bars, of course. Kisno trying to do something, but unfortunately can't. Speaker is nearly, of course, doing the recall. And yeah, the game stalls. And unfortunately for Wilson, they're going to go down and trying to find what was you thinking, Wilson? What were you thinking? They're trying to take down. That is not the play, Wilson. That's not the play at all. And now it's going to cost you, Baron. Like, Wilson, what were you thinking? That is just dumb. That is just low IQ play from him, unless the Baron Seal might save him. And now, big damage, of course. Steal, of course. Baron taken by NRG. And now Femini's doing all the work. And now Suji getting killed. Kim down is not looking great. Mel damage, of course. And they will walk away with nothing to show, with a couple of Barons, of course. Only the jungler is dead, which is actually good news. And oh god, Wilson. And Wilson will take the Krugs and just happily merely going away. And that will be it. So, my god, Wilson, why? Wilson was in the mid lane. It has nothing to do with the business. I think they're trying to chunk down the Sushi, but even that is just little R, and thank you very much, a kill here, and that's Baron. Wilson just threw the entire game on that play alone. The good news is Cloud Soul Drake is back, but even then, I'm not sure Cloud Drake is important. Unfortunately, Zach is not important because he got killed by Femini again. Zamudo's trying to do something, but I don't think Zamudo's going to be tanky. Look at how damage it was. It took 3 people trying to chunk him like half of health. Zamudo just poking down. Diator is not looking great. And now, oh my god! Jeez! That is Cloud Drake gone right now. My god! Let's just look at it again. I think we're going to see replay, but just look at it again. So Zamudo just taken down. And then try to do it again. And oh my god, the Cataclysm and the Cataclysm with the Cyan ult, and just, my God, that is just demoralizing if you're Winthrop. Demoralizing. And now mid tier 2 is going to be gone right now. Samudo is pretty much close to dead. He's probably be dead, and it is. Diego with a kill. But the bot tier 2 is pretty much going down. And now let's look at the play again. And I'm not sure which play they're going to look at, but I think, yeah, they're going to the play. And then the headbutt, of course, the Massey ulti, and this is from the Drake bag, and then Cataclysm, big on the wind up, and big on the Cyan ult, and that's pretty much it. So right now, to stop the Cloud Soul Drake stole, and pretty much hold the momentum, of course, off Winthrop, they're going to take the mid tier 2. And now this game is pretty much in dire straits. The good news is you cut the Mel down to 1.1k gold. The bad news is Kisno is looking great at 4-2 and 14 and a 2.8k goal advantage. 2.8k goal advantage, I said. Wilson is not having a great time. And now the GA is going to Kisno. So good luck trying to kill him twice. Good luck. And now Zamudo is getting tanky. Kisno is getting tanky with the GA, and then Mel's going to do ridiculous damage. Theodore will take the tower, which is a great consolation prize, but it's a 6.3k gold lead. It's not looking great. And if you look at the gold graph, that is pretty much like, yeah, it's not looking great. And now, of course, they're trying to dive in Wilson, and it works. Wilson did the dive onto Suchi, and it works, but does it do anything? Zamudo's going to come in, and he's going to tank all those damage. And he's not afraid. He's not afraid. Look at him. Taking a quarter of a health and not just nothing. Just nothing. And now Kim down is trying to do anything. Spica is trying to get out. He does with the blast cone. And unfortunately, oh, no. No. Theodore is going down. He's going to move. Yeah, that dog is really not happy about this performance by Wilson. He's not happy about this performance by Wilson. Cloud Soul is at 90 seconds. As my parents about to enter in. Night, guys. Good night. Yes. Okay, just pause and just tend to my mom. Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, I think I'm live. Sorry about this. My parents, my mom, is a little sick. My guys just come back to work. Just going to finish this series and then trying to call it a night. Anyways, it's 2011 and Femini is pretty much disgusting right now, and he's gonna get Cataclysm. And Zach, there is nothing you can do. He's cooked, trying to turn off the lights, but unfortunately, he does nothing. Speaker is a big old tank, and there's nothing you can do about it. And boy, Mel is just disgusting. Sushi would have killed. It is not looking good right now. It is not looking good. 30 minutes in, and they're trying to take another Baron. They're trying to take another Baron right now. And Femini just going to go 1v1 with Wilson, but unfortunately it doesn't work. And the kettle is whistling right now because it's whistling for Winthrop's Demise, which I'm going to turn off right now. So, right, here we go. Baron's being stealed again for the second time. 30 minutes in. It is a 6.9k goal lead, close to 7. It is 7k goal lead. And it's not looking good for Winthrop right now. It is not looking good for Winthrop. 22-11, of course. And the scores. They're going to take another Cloud, Drake, start the stacking. And right now it is dire straits for Winthrop. I don't think Yanara Scale is going to save them right now. Not even close. Kisno's going to take the Wolves. And Vimimi is going to take the bot lane 2 with all the crystallization. And now they're trying to take down Zamudo, but I'm not sure it's going to work. They're going to kill Zamudo. I don't think nobody can kill Zamudo. Zamudo's not dead. And he took a kill with it. I mean, well, that pretty much sums it up. They cannot kill Zamudo. Femini is absolutely disgusting. They shut him down. Congratulations. But unfortunately, this game is pretty much ended. And the series is NRG with a 2-0 victory over Winthrop. And yeah, this was a brilliant performance by NRG. Femini, despite the death, is my player of the series. Yes, I know he deserves a round of applause. 9-2-7 on the Mel. So it is time for me to do the 3 stars of the series, ladies and gentlemen, and then I think it's time for me to skedaddle because my parents is not doing well right now. So let's just wrap this up. We got 4 more games, of course, for the next couple of weeks, and we're gonna say Femini is my first star, of course. Really good mid lane performance. As usual, 12, 3, and 12. That's an 8 KDA, of course. And my second star on the team, gonna go with Sushi. And 11, 6, 15, 4.3, And then, you know, Samuto with an, I think Samuto with an NRG top 8, 5, 9, and a 3.4 KDA. And unfortunately, somebody has to be the team of the series. I think it's going to be maybe Wilson, maybe Zach. I think it's Wilson. That Nocturne play just really, really hurts me. I'm hurt by that Nocturne play. I'm hurt. And unfortunately, his jungle performance is not great. 4-11 and 11 with a 1.4 KDA. And that concludes this whole week. It's both 2-0s. Nothing too much surprising as we, you know, gone full screen, of course. And dominant performances by the two teams, of course. It'll meet, of course. This will be the last game of week 3, and that'll be an absolute blast, of course. So sorry about the frame rate being dropping and all kind of stuff. It's been 3 hours, and I think it's time for me to tap myself out. And unfortunately, we cannot do a raid. Sorry, it is what it is. We can't do things every single night. So yeah, so I think it's time for me to end the stream. I think we have a busy weekend of League of Legends coming up across all regions, Masters coming up, Premier League, and all kinds of stuff. And yes, all right, I'll charge it. Okay, thank you, mommy. All right. Yes. So yeah, I think it's time for me to end the stream. And thank you for being a fan. And yeah. So anyways, we're gonna end the stream right here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for coming out this Friday. You're gonna have this as a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of the week. And I'm probably gonna see you tomorrow. Or if I don't, I will probably see you Monday for the rest of the week 3 streams. And if you like, go on to YouTube, subscribe for the channel, and all the kind of stuff. So anyways, on behalf of myself, I wish you guys a good night and enjoy the rest of the day.